I remember receiving this strange letter about this, what seemed to be a little bit of a social experiment, but the letter made me feel good that I was recognized as a leader from the Oishei Foundation, and so I was excited about this trip that they were sending us on.
When I first received the letter, I didn't respond. I thought it was a hoax. It did have Oishei letterhead on it, so it made me think twice. So I opened the letter, read it, chuckled, put it off to the side, and then we received a follow-up email. And on that email were some folks that I'd been reading about. In Art Voice, Amy Kedron comes to mind, and thinking, I've got to meet this young lady, Erin Bartley, and several other folks. So I said, okay, I will respond. I'm going to send my bio, I will send my resume, and take it from there, and agree to go to this two-day conference that was very mysterious.
So when all of these leaders came together in one room, we didn't necessarily have a very concrete goal in mind or our time structured. It was really fascinating. People would have liked to have watched through the windows, because I'm sure they would have laughed at how antsy we were about what kind of a product we should come away with. We weren't sure if we were going to change the universe or maybe just the city of Buffalo by the following week.
Right away I felt comfortable in the space with the people that were there, and it doesn't feel like it's been this long since we got together and first got involved with Oishei, but over the past, I'd say 4 or 5 years that we've been engaged as a cohort, many things have evolved organically, you can say, which has really helped, I think, everyone that's involved in their own ways, in their own professions. And it's helped really push Buffalo in what direction we're trying to do as people living in this city.
I think when we first started, there was definitely a challenge for all of us to have the free form that the foundation was providing. I think we were all so used to having a specific challenge to have to address or objectives to meet, and there was none of that. It was get together and talk about what you're doing, talk about what we'd like to achieve, what the group would appreciates from this opportunity, and take from it what we each felt was necessary. And I think that was invaluable, because I feel so often we're prescribed to a certain set of goals and objectives and actions, and the ability to not have that, I think, was great. I don't know, what's a good word for that? Uplifting.
Meeting these people, though, that were incredibly engaged, some of the most brilliant people that I've met, of like mind, very progressive, but also from Buffalo, and love this hometown. Soon after, I started to think, I don't want to leave Buffalo. I like Buffalo. It's a great city. It has several challenges, and maybe I can stay and be part of fixing it.
Our group in particular just made some really deep connections, and then we wrestled over time with some big topics that were probably a reflection of challenges in the whole city of Buffalo. We seemed to, at different points, tackle some of those. It was incredible, the transformation that we had by willing to be really honest and open and dig into some of these issues.
One of the key things about these Oishei groups are that they cut across all sectors of the community, all segments, all stages of career. And, it's really girded with this feeling of being about positive change in the community. Who are the people that might be capable of making that change, who are going to, make it happen as we move forward into the future, and fostering the connections that will allow that to happen. So it's not just the arts, it's not just health and human services, it's not just healthcare, it's not just political activists, it's all of those together. And like with anything, so much of it's about the personal connections. So once you come to know someone personally, then to pick up the phone or to come together to make something happen becomes much easier.
One of the most important things that has come out of this is awareness throughout the entire thread of community in terms of the participants of each other and what their organizations are, what they do. Without that, the possibility for collaborations really doesn't exist. You have to understand what is available in your community in order to take advantage of that, in order to imagine possibilities. having these people together, having an opportunity to discuss what you do, why you do it, with your peers really is at the basis of what the Oshai Leaders is all about.
You know, sometimes we get discouraged in terms of what the government's doing or not doing. And I think a lot of the work that's being done by the people in the community that are part of this Oshai group are the things that are inspiring and uplifting, and one of the reasons why I've continued to be here in Buffalo.
It creates a sort of oasis in our work lives. Many of us in the nonprofit sector are so busy doing our day-to-day jobs. We're working, you know, trying to make these things happen, these good things happen in the community. And to have an opportunity to step aside and in a more relaxed setting, in a different environment with some different colleagues, talk about what we're doing, talk about how we can help each other, talk about some new possibilities. It's really, really rich.
There is real trust amongst each other. You know, we rely on each other both, like I said, professionally, you know, when we need things, but also socially. You know, we're trying to figure out, I like spending time with these people. I like these folks. I learn from them. They have so much to teach me. I hope that some of them learn from me, but mostly I feel like I'm in the room because I'm like, I need something from you. You're so, you know, I just find these people to be incredibly intelligent and passionate, and, you know, I'm thankful, and I know that I'm definitely taking away from them, which is great because it allows me to learn in a way that I wasn't learning before.
And the truth is, if we're going to look to transform lives and neighborhoods of people, we can't just look at one problem that's affecting a child or a family. We got to systematically look at the whole process of how we transform a neighborhood. Just like a doctor would look at cancer and attack a cancer cell, you know, who's working in that field? It's the nutritionist and the anesthesiologist are coming together to look systematically approach something. If you look at neighborhoods of gang violence and activity and poverty, we can get overwhelmed. But, you know, you look at Oshai and people that we've talked to in that group, people are in different arenas addressing those problems, but now we're able to pull all our resources together to really look at a stronger approach to transform and help families and neighborhoods. And that's powerful.
It just struck me how much everything is completely about relationships. And so whether you want to change an organization or a neighborhood or a community, it really comes down to relationships. And I think that's why this project has worked.